1988 was a cinematic roller coaster, the kind that looks exciting on the outside, but the moment you sit in the seat, you realize the safety bar doesn't even work.
Might just depend on it.
Studios swung for the fences, stumbled over their own feet, and delivered a batch of films that confused critics, baffled audiences, and later became cult favorites. These are the 1988 movies that flopped, fizzled, or tripped at release, but somehow became cult classics, nostalgic favorites, or just plain entertaining disasters we can't help but enjoy. Let's start with Mac and Me, the movie that was basically created in a Coca-Cola boardroom by saying, what if we made E.T., but with 5,000 more product placements? It bombed hard. Audiences saw right through the corporate glow. Critics shredded it, and the box office numbers were a cry for help. But now, Mac and Me is one of the greatest accidental comedies ever made. Paul Rudd built an entire running joke on it. People watch it because it's ridiculous. It went from failed E.T. clone to so bad it's legendary. Now that's a comeback story. And if your name was Johnny, I tell you to be good. Johnny Be Good, starring Anthony Michael Hall as the most popular high school football recruit in America.
That girl's not wearing any underwear.
This movie was supposed to capitalize on his Brat Pack fame, but instead, it stumbled into theaters and fell asleep on arrival. Critics called it shallow, audiences ignored it. Football fans didn't take it seriously. Comedy fans weren't impressed. But here's the twist. The movie aged into this bizarre, charming little time capsule. It's pure late 80s energy. Synth music, giant hair, football recruiting insanity, and a plot that feels like it was written during lunch. It's messy. It's goofy, and that's exactly why people love revisiting it now.
Well, milliseconds before initial penetration, I just shot up in bed like a reverse domino. And I just said, hey, there'll be none of this. What kind of boy do you think I am? I will hardly pop you without having met your father. Get him on the horn.
Let's talk Gopher, Caddyshack II, one of the most infamous sequels ever made. When the original film is a comedy classic and half the original cast refuses to return, you're already starting 50 points behind. The studio pushed it out anyway, and audiences responded with one united voice. Nope. This thing flopped so badly it almost retroactively hurt the first movie. But decades later, it became one of those you have to see it to believe it comedies. Fans treat it like cinematic comfort food, not because it's amazing, but because it's a perfect example of Hollywood chaos. People love it because it's a disaster with personality.
Keep your eye on the fruit. Keep your eye on the fruit. Good? It's better than good. No. It's gone.
Now this is a special one, Cocktail. It made money, a lot of money, but critics absolutely destroyed it.
All right. Now, what was it that you ordered? A martini. What's in that?
They called it cheesy, silly, over the top. They said Tom Cruise looked like he was acting inside a shampoo commercial. But audiences today, we love Cocktail. It's tropical, it's dramatic, it's crazy in all the right ways. The soundtrack still slaps. Cruise flipping bottles behind a bar, iconic. It's become a comfort watch cult classic. Critics may have hated it, but the people have spoken. Cocktail is cinema.
You want a cupcake? Come on.
Did you say you'd like to see the specials, sir? Today's specials are meatloaf mozzarella, chicken a la king. May I suggest some ketchup for your fries? Your sexy little smile's not going to work this time.
And if you're into action, Action Jackson.
Barbecue, huh? How do you like your ribs?
A movie that feels like someone dared Hollywood to make the most out-of-control action film ever imaginable, and they accepted that dare without blinking. Carl Weathers stars as a Detroit cop fighting a corporate supervillain, and for some reason, this didn't immediately sweep the Oscars. It underperformed at release, but modern audiences love its energy. It's big, it's loud, it's cheesy, explosive, and filled with that pure 80s swagger. People watch it now because it's exactly what they miss about old school action movies. Simple plots, big personalities, and zero apologies.
Maybe this wasn't such a damn good idea after all.
Bad Dreams is one of those horror movies that didn't stand a chance upon release. Critics compared it to A Nightmare on Elm Street. Audiences didn't know what to make of it, and it faded from theaters almost instantly. But in the long run, the movie developed a serious cult following. The psychological horror, the weird dreamlike tone, the Unity Fields cult storyline, the surreal kills. It's that kind of film horror fans keep rediscovering and thinking, why did nobody tell me this was actually good? It deserved way more love in 1988, and it finally got it. Now, technically, Crocodile Dundee II made money, but compared to the first film,
what are your chances of getting out of here with that jacket on?
Better than average?
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
critics called it a disappointment. Expectations were sky high because the original was a phenomenon. The sequel didn't hit the same cultural explosion. Reviews were lukewarm, and it became one of those movies everyone shrugged at for being way too slow. But today, fans treat the first two Dundee movies like one big double feature. New York chaos, the Australian wilderness, the fish out of water charm. It's all still fun. This isn't a movie people treasure because it reinvented cinema. They treasure it because it delivers exactly what they want from Crocodile Dundee, and that's enough.
Thank you.
Certainly fine. You know who that was?
誰?
Clint Eastwood.
クリント・イーストウッドか。あ、違う。クリント・イーストウッドはとっても高いです。
Yes, very tall.
These were the 1988 movies that critics ignored, audiences skipped, or Hollywood misfired, but the fans later embraced anyway. They weren't box office titans. They weren't critical darlings. They were the underdogs. The movies that need years of distance before people realize how fun, weird, charming, and downright iconic they truly are. 1988 wasn't just about the hits. It was about the movies that refused to die, no matter what the box office said.
Which one is that?
Whitlock. We are human now.
I know, bitchin', huh? Value.